We created our first HTML document in TextEdit, but TextEdit isn't the most ideal code editor. There's lots of other code editors that provide more features for us. And the one that I use is Sublime Text. So I'm going to open this up in Sublime Text, and you can see right away what it does is it's actually coloring the HTML elements for me, so it's easier for me to read. So using a code editor is not necessary for editing HTML, but it does make it a lot more pleasant, a lot of shortcuts and stuff. We have created a basic HTML file here, but it's sorely incomplete. There's a lot of sort of standard elements that you need to have in your HTML document for it to work. So at the top of your document, the very first thing you need to do is add what's called the doc type. And it looks like this. You type a less than, an exclamation, the word doc type. It doesn't have to be uppercase. It can be lowercase if you want, and HTML. This is basically stating that this HTML file is a modern HTML document. So it's not necessary to have it there, and browsers will be okay without it. But they will style your website differently, because if you don't have the doc type exactly like this, the browser will assume that you made an old, outdated website. So this is required to make your website, the browser interpret it as being modern. The next thing that we need in here is the HTML element, like this. So I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to end it at the bottom. So everything inside of our web page is always inside of HTML, just like this. Now within HTML, we have two other elements that we have to have. The first one is called head, which looks like this. Now head shouldn't be confused with the header of your website. Head is just the sort of metadata of this HTML document. So we put extra stuff in the head to describe our website. So if we look in our browser here, let me open this again. I'll drag it into my browser and preview it. You'll see it looks the same, but the browser doesn't care that that stuff is in there. If you left it out, it would make it very difficult for you to style your website the way that you want. So inside of the head, there is one piece of information that we can put in there that is visible. So in the tab right here, you can see it just says the name of our HTML file, index.html. But inside of head, we can add an element called title, like this. And in here, we could add some text. So my first HTML file. What you put in the title is actually what gets written up here in the tab of your website. So it doesn't show in the browser window, it shows in the tab of the browser. There's another thing that we need in here, and this is called the char set. So char set equals UTF-8. That should be an 8. So this thing right here defines how the text in your website is encoded. So we're not going to get into that. Suffice it to say, keep it UTF-8 and you're good to go. It's so that you can have multiple languages and accent and characters and stuff inside of your HTML. So this is the stuff that we need in our head for our website. Now down here you can see this is the stuff that's visible on the browser, the stuff that's visible in sort of the HTML page area. This is called the body of the HTML document. So we're going to add a body here, like this. And all of the content of your website always goes inside the body. So it shouldn't be confused with the body of your website visually. It's all of your HTML that's visible on the screen always goes in the body, including your header and footer, everything. So what we've got now is a perfectly set up standard HTML document that is modern and will be stylable for us in all modern browsers.